Hey guys, I'm Lisa. Today, Game Over Jesse and I will be presenting our theory on who we believe the old man in Breath of the Wild is. But before we get started, please subscribe if you're interested in Zelda theories or more videos like this. This video is part of a new series where we discuss possible ways to find certain items, locations, and secrets that we uncover within the hours of footage we have seen. Previously, Jesse discussed his thoughts on how we will obtain the green tunic and the Master Sword, so check out those videos if you haven't already. A link will be provided in the description, so remember to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. And with all that out of the way, let's get started.
When you first start The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, you will notice a lot of similarities with the first Legend of Zelda game. In the original Zelda game, you begin in an open field and must travel inside a cave to meet an old man who gives you the sword and sends you on your way. In Breath of the Wild, the opposite happens. You begin in a cave and must exit to an open field to be confronted by the old man who sends you on your way. The old man, or a character based off of the old man, has shown up in several Zelda games in one form or another to sort of guide Link on his adventure. We see this in Ocarina of Time represented by the owl Kaepora Gaebora, who we later come to find out is a manifestation of the Sage of Light who can't leave the Chamber of Sages.
In Wind Waker, we are introduced to a similar concept. We are guided through the game by our friendly neighborhood talking dragon boat known as King of the Red Lions, who we later find out is actually the King of Hyrule. But not like a normal ruling king. No, this king is dead, and he is Daphne's Nohant in Hyrule, who was sealed beneath the Great Sea along with the rest of Hyrule during the events of the Great Flood. So, long story short, he is the 100-year-old ghost of a dead king who decides to manifest himself as a jolly talking dragon boat. Again, something similar happens in Phantom Hourglass, the sequel to Wind Waker, but this time it's a whale pretending to be an old man. Huh. This cycle of old dudes turning into weird creatures just keeps getting more strange, doesn't it? Well, luckily, this all comes back to sanity in Skyward Sword, where we are introduced to Gaepora, the headmaster of Skyloft, Zelda's father, and who we assume will be the first king of Hyrule after the events of Skyward Sword, since he is already seen as the leader of Skyloft. Even in the most recent handheld Zelda game had its own version of the old man, this time only known as Gramps, which many suggest is actually an aged Link.
So who's the cleverly named old man in Breath of the Wild? Well, I have a few possibilities, but none are nearly as crazy or hard to believe as they are in past Zelda games. So no humans or ghosts turning into owls and boats or whales morphing into old men. My first theory is honestly pretty simple and obvious. The old man is the king of Hyrule. Not just any king, but the king we know from the Wind Waker, King Daphnis Nohansen Hyrule. The main reason behind this is how similar they look. If you changed the king's outfit and recreated him in the style of Breath of the Wild, he would look identical to the old man. This is further backed by the fact that due to the Koroks making an appearance and other facts found within the game, Breath of the Wild is either a sequel or prequel to the Wind Waker. I don't want to go too deep into this, but yes, Wind Waker already has a sequel. Link leaves Hyrule to find a new home for his people. This is the plot for Phantom Hourglass, and 100 years after finding New Hyrule, Spirit Tracks takes place. Breath of the Wild could take place around the same time as Spirit Tracks, but where Spirit Tracks takes place in New Hyrule, this game takes place in Old Hyrule at around the same time. The Koroks had a plan to drain the water from Hyrule in the Wind Waker, and if they were successful, we could end up here with the King of Hyrule trying to guide this new Link to become the hero. If the game is a prequel, it could be the king trying to stop Ganon before the flood occurs. If it is a sequel, then the king has already appeared long after he has died as a ghost and as a talking boat, so having him manifest as himself again wouldn't be too far-fetched, compared to the canon story Nintendo has given us in past Zelda games.
Our second theory is something that has been done in previous Zelda games. The old man is simply Link. Okay, I know what you're thinking, there's two Links? Well, sort of. One version pulls inspiration from Skyward Sword and the other from A Link Between Worlds. Both of these games were the most recent Zelda games Nintendo has worked on, so it only makes sense that they would influence Breath of the Wild. So let's start with the Skyward Sword approach. Remember the old lady sitting in front of the door of time protecting Zelda as she slept? Well, spoiler alert, that is Impa. The same Impa we see helping Zelda throughout the game. Impa in the past travels to the future to help Zelda, then after her job is done, she travels back in time with the power of the Sheikah. She remains in the Temple of Hylia, now called the Sealed Temple, for hundreds of years. As a result, when Impa travels to the future, we end up seeing two versions of her, in case that's not confusing enough already. Now back to Breath of the Wild. Most Zelda games have two worlds. Whether it's the past, Twilight Realm, Lorule, the Dark World, or whatever, We think this game will follow this tradition and will have some form of time travel. Link will save Hyrule as he always does, or possibly fail. Nintendo is unpredictable, so who really knows? But like Link's sealing of Demise in Skyward Sword, we think Link will have to travel back in time to try to defeat Ganon before he ends up corrupting Hyrule. He is then unable to actually defeat him, but manages to seal him. Then he spends the 100 years gaining knowledge on how to fully defeat and rid of Ganon once and for all. Then when Link wakes up, he will be able to guide the new Link on his adventure and share with him the knowledge he has learned. This, however, creates an endless and confusing cycle of the hero waking up, traveling the past, sealing Ganon, waiting 100 years, waking the new hero, just to repeat itself over and over and over again. Our other theory of the old man being Link brings inspiration from A Link Between Worlds. As stated earlier, a lot of people believe Gramps is actually a different Link, but aged to an elderly man. In this game, it could be the same situation. It could be a Link who has already ended his own adventure and is too old to really do anything to guide a younger hero on their own journey.
My next theory isn't really my own personal thoughts, but one that seems to be popular among others, including my good friend RMFH. This theory suggests that the old man is really Ganondorf. We have different opinions, situations, and theories that cause this, but they all end with Ganon and Ganondorf being separated. For instance, in A Link Between Worlds, there's no mention of Ganondorf, but the final boss does turn out to be a version of Ganon. So in one example, Ganondorf is turned to stone and sealed. Ganon could have been set free and sealed in the castle where Ganondorf was defeated. This could leave Ganondorf, the human side, to escape the seal, as he's done many times before, and the old man could be helping Link on his journey in order to regain his full power. For instance, Ganondorf in Ocarina of Time couldn't get the Triforce on his own, so he followed Link, and when Link opened the door of time to the Sacred Realm, Ganondorf appeared and touched the Triforce. In Twilight Princess, Zant let Link collect the pieces to create the mask, and then took it for himself, similar to Ganondorf. This game could follow that pattern where Ganondorf uses Link as a pawn for his own needs. A little off topic here, but it might make it a bit easier to understand. For those who follow the show, this is like season 1 of The Flash, where Reverse Flash travels to the past and gets trapped. So he disguises himself and becomes the Flash's mentor. He encourages the Flash to become as powerful and as fast as possible. This way, Reverse Flash can use the good Flash's power and speed to get back to his own timeline. It's a simple basic plot device where the bad guy hides who he really is and tricks the hero into doing all of the work for him until the very end.
Finally, the old man could simply just be the old man. No secret identities or hidden agendas. Yep, just a simple plot device character to help you progress through the game, and that is all. Probably not though, because that would be super boring and kinda dumb on Nintendo's part. These are just theories though. None are confirmed, but some of these actually do make sense. Hell, the old man could even be Zelda, disguised, just like how she did with Sheik in Ocarina of Time. You never know. So, we would like to hear your thoughts. Comment below, let us know what you think, let us know who you think the old man is, and what topic you would like to see us cover in the next video. Also, don't forget to subscribe.
If you haven't already, check out my previous videos where I discuss my thoughts on how we obtain the Master Sword and the Green Tunic. And if you really want to help this channel out, head over to my Patreon page where your contributions allow me to make videos like this and allow you to have your subject made into a video. Allow you to join on videos like this or discussion videos as a guest. You can get a custom avatar or artwork similar to my own to look like you in any anime or video game style that you prefer and more. And as always, thank you for watching.